Welcome to Social Media Made Simple, and we have decided to do a very special holiday episode. So my name is Elisa, I'm the Product Marketing Manager at NapoleonCat, and I'm here today with Anna.
Hi, I'm Anna. I am Content Executive and Senior Social Media Specialist at NapoleonCat.
And today we thought we will share with you our thoughts and experiences with no other than artificial intelligence. So let's dive right in. I guess I want to start with this idea in our head when we were growing up and we saw AI in movies, right? It was this like big thing, like robots will take
over the world and destroy civilization and all that stuff.
Terminator. So now we are living in times when it's here.
We're living in the future.
The future is now. Oh my God. So I guess my question is for you, how is kind of the expectations versus reality? What are your thoughts on what you thought the AI era would be and what it is actually in your experience today?
Well, for me, it kind of crept on you unexpectedly. Mm-hmm. You know, you can you think 2 years back when it all started blowing up and it wasn't such a big topic, and then bam, and now every other company is implementing AI. So literally everyone is saying, hey, we have AI. And 2 years ago, no one would think about it. It wasn't such a common knowledge, I think. It probably still isn't such a common knowledge for everyone. But for example, for marketers, and if you work in the digital industry, it pops up everywhere.
And it's almost like you cannot say, oh, I'm not going to do AI. I'm just not going to do it.
And that's what we would like to do, but you can't, you just can't. It's not possible.
I know so many people who will say I really don't like it. It gives me the creeps, but still it seems like everybody is jumping on the train. I think I heard somewhere a comparison that it's somewhat like it's like the Industrial Revolution when they invented the steam engine. Mm-hmm. And we are having this revolution.
The Industrial Revolution of the 21st century, for sure.
Yeah. And I really like what you said about it creeping up on us, because I have almost this idea looking back at 2023 that it's almost like I woke up New Year's, the news started to pop up. Oh, there's this fun tool, give it a try. And by the end of the year...
And we're talking ChatGPT, right?
And we're talking ChatGPT. And by the end of the year, it's something...
It's pretty much, you have it on your CV as a skill.
Yeah. And prompt engineering, our other colleague from our social media team, Marta, she shared that engineer prompting will be a thing, like a university...
you're gonna have a degree in prompt engineering probably in 5 years.
Yeah. So when you hear stuff, people saying oh my God, robots will take our jobs. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, this is kind of like a clickbait, and we're for sure naming this episode is are robots going to take social media managers' job? But I think many people before me said it, that for now at least there's no risk that AI will take your job. If you work in digital marketing, if you work in social media management, I don't think it's happening just yet. Probably sometime, maybe never. But for now, I think AI is here to stay, and as you see, AI is here to help you with your job and make things faster, smoother, simpler, rather than taking over your job in general, like totally.
So not yet an army of Terminators taking away stuff, but this quote has been around on the internet so many times, but I would still like to bring it up because in a way, for me, it's very true and makes a lot of sense. It's not AI that will take your job, but someone who knows how to use it will. Which brings me to the topic of looking, because this is also the end of the year. We're approaching Christmas. Looking back at the year, what has changed in the way you work ever since AI became the thing? Is there something you have changed this year, or for better or for worse for you with AI?
Well, for starters, I started using AI. I'm not the biggest fan of AI, I must admit, but there are instances where you go to ChatGPT and you ask it things, and you use other tools that have AI in them. So the biggest change for me this year would be that I started using it, maybe not on a day-to-day basis, but like if I create content, if I come up with content ideas for our social media or for our podcast, for our like video stuff, reels, and so on. It's like my friend, I was talking to her yesterday and it's like, oh my God, what am I going to talk about this podcast? I'm not such a big fan of AI. And I pitched her like, so how do you use AI in your work? And she said a very interesting quote to me. I think AI is like your intern. You should, feed it stuff, give it prompts, but you cannot expect it to know everything, and you have to double check the work. So it's pretty much a great thing you can ping pong ideas of. Like, so for example, if you're using ChatGPT, that's perfect, but you can never trust it 100%.
And I think that's for me the biggest learning. I love ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT a lot. And I'm nice to my AI. I still, so I don't
Me too.
I don't have a name, but I'm writing is like, oh yeah, thank you, that was good. Because I'm figuring once, they do take over the world, at least I was nice.
Maybe they will spare you.
Yeah, this is the one who was nice to me back in 2023. But I do see a huge quality jump when you really focus on what you're asking and you really spending time on writing the prompt is almost for me the biggest investment and preparation. So as with many things, it's crap in, crap out. If you write a very generic prompt and say like, oh, give me content ideas, whatever, it will give you crappy ideas.
Yeah.
But if you really put your mind into it,
I think you have to approach it like any kind of project that first you think, how do you want to approach it? You never go all the way in without some kind of plan or anything. And it's the same with AI, even if it's like asking it to make a simple description for your social media post, or when I ask it to like, hey, I'd like some content ideas for Twitter, I make sure that I say like what the audience is, or for example, if I am looking for a specific content ideas for an industry, I'm mentioning like, hey, I'm looking for this and this kind of industry and what they would be interested in. And I'm giving it a bit of a feedback on what my ideal audience would be. So then I don't get a generic, for example, answer or a generic post description that has a lot of buzzwords and a ton of emoji.
Yeah,
it's like this is what you get when you are lousy, when you don't pay attention.
Yeah, sure. You get a typical LinkedIn post.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
which no one really is interested in, and it's very for me, it's also fascinating that recently I saw a study that especially older generations, like elderly millennials like myself, people will trust less if they know it's AI generated. The content is less trustworthy. So I think still the topic of being authentic and topic of really being very deliberate about what you do with that tool is super important. But for me, one of the two mind-blowing things around working with ChatGPT. One, you can ask it what would be the best prompt. It's kind of like Inception, right? So you can ask it, I want to work at this problem. Can you give me prompt ideas? What would be the best to ask you to get the best possible result? Which is mind-blowing, but it makes sense. It's a language model, so it can figure it out. And the other thing that was a complete game changer for me was plugins. That's a little bit, let's say, more advanced because like if you get the paid subscription,
you have to have the paid subscription of ChatGPT to use plugins, and the free version is a bit that's like lower knowledgeable, if you can say so. Yeah,
but the ability for it to ask to scrape links is and I even used it to plan, to look for flights, because you can also plug in this, one of the search engines for flights. And I was like, okay, so find the best possible connection through here. And it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I was shocked. So using plugins for ChatGPT, I have though a huge problem, for I don't know why, but for language, I'm okay with it. But I have a huge problem with AI used for graphics. Mainly also because I do have this huge problem with it stealing, quote unquote, content from other artists. And then we have also, so my biggest creep out of the year was when I saw AI generated videos translated into multiple languages, and that you can digitalize yourself. Would you digitalize yourself?
No, never. It kind of for me it feels like you never know what happens, and let's be honest, people tend not to read terms and conditions thoroughly. Most of the time you just click on them and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. And then with such a new branch of technology, you could say, you have no idea what the companies are going to do with your image.
Yeah.
And there's so much, cybersecurity issues around this topic involved. So that's a no for me.
Yeah. And for me, I generate video content, and considering I'm the mom to Napoleon Cat Academy, my first thought was oh my God, this is amazing. We can make so much with this. But then I'm like, okay, but I don't want to be the one who gets scanned and uploaded. And I even had a talk with my parents recently to explain to them, listen guys, now the technology is out there, so you can see a video of me that's not true. You can hear my voice and it won't be me. So I actually established a safe word with my parents. Mm-hmm. So if they suspect that it may not be me, they will need to ask for the specific safe word. I think it's insane in a way that you have to do that, but especially with people who don't maybe fully understand what is the capacity. The implications are huge for things that can go wrong. Yeah. But things can go right as well. And even for the podcast, I've been using an AI software that enhances sound. And for me, for example, that's one of the things that's was also like a super nice game changer because it speeds things up. I'm also not a sound engineer.
Exactly. That like it's great because I would say like marketers face so many challenges in their job, and there's always the story of like one team social media manager or like one team digital marketer. And when you don't have resources or you don't have a big budget, a big team, AI can help like speed up the process, or it can help you do the things that you're not like a pro at. And then, for example, like with the example of the podcast, you don't have to worry about like, okay, what do I do? How do I enhance it? Like back in the days, you would go to YouTube, you would Google like how to enhance
you would have
video, podcast, whatever in Adobe Audition.
Yeah.
And then it would take you, I don't know, at least an hour to go through the videos, and then you would go to into the program, try to replicate that, and you would be, okay, what was the next step? I forgot. I have to go back to the video. It would take you like 2 hours, and now with the technology, it's like 5 minutes and you're done.
Yeah, exactly. So I love the function of enhancement, but again, it's the same with ChatGPT. You cannot trust it fully. So you are applying, let's say, the so-called like magic dust, and sometimes, but you still need to do the checks. Sometimes it really like is great, and there's just nothing wrong with it. But then sometimes I listen to it, it's like, okay, that's way too much. But it's and the progress also I see with it being enhanced all the time. That's super nice. So I think in terms of social media management, it's really nice because the technology comes when you have challenges in terms of budgeting, in terms of resources. And still, of course, I would be very far away to say you need to have like a super high quality pro recording. I would still go to a specialist. But for, also for people who are starting, want to start, I think it's so good that you have just the possibilities to start being creative without the need of getting super technical. So enabling that playfulness, that's the thing that excites me about AI, instead of creeping me out. But I'm still like more on the creeped out side. Okay, so let's talk practical stuff now.
Yeah.
In your daily work, what are the AI tools that you use and of course can recommend to our listeners?
Sure. So as content executive and social media specialist, I mostly deal with content creation.
Yeah.
And I think the lifesaver tool for me is ChatGPT, as I mentioned. And that also is supported by Grammarly. I love Grammarly, and it's great. And now they have also the AI feature that allows you to rephrase prompts, to shorten them, change the vibe of the sentence, the tone of voice you're going for, and so on, which I find absolutely wonderful. And recently also Canva introduced their AI capabilities, their AI tools, and I'm exploring a little bit of that.
Uh-huh.
I'm still learning, so I can't say that it's great, but I highly recommend you to check it out if you're a social media manager or work on content and digital marketing and so on.
Yeah,
so that's great.
One of my favorite things to use ChatGPT for is for product updates, to repurpose some content. So let's say I already have a blog article on what the updates are, or I have the description that I have prepared on what features are coming.
Yeah.
And then I'm using ChatGPT to kind of, make 2-sentence summary for me, make a suggestion of a post, make a short description that I can use on our updates and improvements site. So kind of if you have already something and you want to repurpose it, that's where, for me, that was like super good to explore. If you have already like a good base, then asking it to synthesize things for you, making summaries, or prepare me 3 talking points I can say in a video, that sort of thing, for me, it's a game changer. And speaking of tools that are integrated, like AI integrated into tools, we have been on an AI journey in NapoleonCat 2.
Yeah.
So currently we have an AI assistant in the publisher, and the cool thing about that, it's based actually on ChatGPT 4. So you get the
best of the best,
the premium version included. And what I really love about the feature is it gives you already prompt tailored to the platform. So let's say you want to post to Instagram and you have a list of prompts specific to Instagram, which I think if you really have one of those days when you're like, Jesus,
no.
I just not, that's really good. And we give you a pool of...
We give you free coins.
Yeah, we have AI coins, you know.
Money,
honey. We give you the free AI coins so you can try it out. And I think for people who maybe still haven't tried it out, or maybe a little bit more AI skeptical, I see it definitely like as a super great tool. And it's gonna be more and more and more. So our customer experience manager, Ola, we have a wonderful episode with her as well that I recommend.
The previous one?
Yeah.
No, the
two. Yeah, before. So she has run actually like a workshop with our clients on what AI features would they like to see. So one of the needs is also getting AI to interpret reporting. We all hate, like, well, maybe we all not hate, but metrics is always the thing, and whatever you can automate. So I think next year that will be something definitely to explore, or asking AI to look at sentiments for you. That's also one of our features, that you can assign sentiments and then analyze what's the overall kind of vibe of your social media. So I think is the direction we're gonna go. But for now, AI assistant in the publisher, cool thing to try out.
I want to also get back to the AI assistant in our publisher. I really like how it's integrated within the tool that allows you to collaborate with your, for example, clients. If you're an agency and you run multiple accounts and you have like a big client, you can consult it and like send content you're creating to consultation. And at the same time, if your client doesn't like the copy for the post, and you are at your wit's end and you're just like, oh, another change. Like, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Like, too many changes can kill the post very easily. You can just, run it through our AI assistant and it will rephrase it for you. And maybe you'll find something, that works for the post, that works for the clients, and they're happy. One thing I would just advise people who are starting with AI is not to take anything for granted. And
absolutely,
if you're working with AI, just don't take whatever it gives you and copy paste it on your social media, on your blog posts. Just slightly redraft it, make it your own.
And always double check.
Yeah, and. You don't want to make mistake. When it comes to numbers and facts, AI is still in its infancy. So
it's good we are always the kind of, because if shit goes down, you cannot say, oh my god, it was AI. Yeah. That's embarrassing and a crisis on your hands in no time. All right, so let's go.
I would say, like, to wrap it up, AI crafted AI.
Oh, our tagline. AI powered, human perfected. Oh,
So that's one rule I would always follow.
AI powered, human perfected. We are very proud of that quote. So good. All right. So now coming to the end of our episode, as usual, we have the cat's meow, the more casual questions. So, what is your social media platform of choice, your favorite, and why? And I think
I'm a social media manager. I am off social media. I don't post. It's like, you're a social media manager and you post content for like other people, and then you don't post on your own. But my all-time favorite has always been Instagram. And I love taking photos from our travels and just in general of like if you go to a restaurant and there's nice food and you want to give them a good review because it was a great restaurant. I love taking photos of that. So I would say Instagram, but I don't post that often. I find LinkedIn pretty useful. There's lots, apart from the things that are repetitive and all the specialists that are there, it's a very good place to connect with other marketers, with other social media specialists, and getting to know their point of view and exchanging opinions. So I like that. I cannot not mention TikTok. This is my favorite search engine. If I travel anywhere and I want to find a nice restaurant like with good food, then I pop up the name of the city on like in TikTok and go like tips or restaurants, like what to see, and it never fails to deliver. Facebook is dead.
Facebook is dead. Although I must say, one feature that I exclusively keep Facebook for is groups. And I have been in so many wonderful groups.
That's true.
And I would like to go off Facebook. I hate it.
Yeah,
personally.
You don't post anymore.
There's nothing there, but the groups keep me. Yeah. They keep me hooked with the groups. So I think if someone from Meta listening, just leave the groups and events, and then scrape the rest.
We don't need that much. There are too many platforms already.
Recently my friend told me that she's on Be Real, and I'm like, why would you? But her nieces apparently it's a thing. Apparently it's a thing.
It's
been
kids. A thing.
It's been a thing, but then it stopped being a thing, and for some,
and now it's a thing for kids.
It's a thing for kids.
Okay.
All right. And then is there anything that you watch right now or listen right now that you can recommend to our listeners?
If you're into games, I can recommend a game for you. Because I recently treated myself to a PS5 for my birthday gift.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, awesome. And like I always dreamt of it, and never been a kind of console girl, always a PC girl.
Yeah, same.
But now it changed, and I got myself Horizon, the Forbidden West. And funnily enough, it's about AI.
Oh my god.
The storyline is that like the AI wanted to scrape the world and destroy the world, and in the first from what I gather, because I only played the second game. In the first one, you as a main character, you try to save the world. And then in the second one, you also try to save the world, but this time because the AI is malfunctioning and you need to find the beta and restore the world. It's beautifully done. The images, they are amazing, and you get hooked up on the story. So if you like games, then I highly recommend checking out Horizon the Forbidden West.
Horizon the Forbidden West. Awesome. Nice thing for the long winter nights.
Yeah.
And the most And the most important question of all, dogs or cats?
It's complicated. I do have 2 cats right now, but all my life I've been either dogs or cats or both at the same time, so I cannot pick.
Why to choose? If you can have both. All right, so that's it. That's all. We wish you all the best for the winter holiday season, and of course, all the best with 2024. It's gonna be for sure exciting.
There's lots of things to come in Napoleon Cat. There's lots of things to come on our podcast.
So we are super excited for the next year and bringing up the things to a better level to improve.
As always.
But my personal wish to you guys is that you can slow down a bit towards the end of the year. If you're anything like us, it's probably you're like, where did this year go? How it happened? So
take a break.
Yeah,
Enjoy your holidays.
Stay safe, stay healthy, and try to disconnect at least for a little while. And until then, have a terrific time as always. Ciao!
Meow.
Meow!